Well, we're officially in if you didn't hear me announce it in the Discord. But yeah, look at this. This is pretty crazy. Not what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about the Shaman. I cannot wait to have a look at this talent tree. This is a class that I'm probably going to be playing a bunch on the alpha because honestly, it's just awesome. I absolutely adore Shaman. It's probably like I said this in a couple of videos ago, but I always have this almost like fascination with the class, even though I never really like it, to be honest. Like, to be honest, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't really like Shaman in the gameplay loops that it offers in Shadowlands. Maybe that'll change in Dragonflight. I don't know. I would like to like it, but I just kind of don't. But there's a lot of like, I'm kind of, peeking over the fence to see what's going on with Shaman. So let's take a look at what I believe to be probably one of the strongest talent trees that could exist, period. We're going to see this. Is the first time I've looked at it. So let's take a look. I'm going to look at every single point. We'll quickly go through it and I'm going to give you my thoughts. All right. Well, we probably will look a little bit as enhanced too, but I don't really know a lot about the specs. So we're just going to look at the class tree. So Chain Heal, right out of the gate, we have Chain Heal, Lava Burst, Astral Shift, and Chain Lightning. So those are all spells that they already have as a baseline for the class. Nothing different. That's one of the things I liked the most about Priest, actually, was that they got Renew basically back as a baseline thing. I cannot wait to see how that plays out, but so far, nothing crazy. Then we move on. We have Earth Elemental, so that's pretty low in the tree. That's going to be really powerful. You can literally get Earth Elemental at level 12, or what would be a level 14, right? Or was it 13? I don't know, but that's really early to get Earth Elemental. Don't forget, I'm always thinking about the leveling side of things too. Wind Shear, everybody always has that as Shaman. That's one of the things that I'm looking forward to seeing about Paladin. I want to see if Paladin or Monk get an interrupt as a healer, but of course, Resto already has access to that. Plains Traveler, reduce the cooldown of Astral Shift or Astral Bulwark, extra damage from Astral Shift. That's very interesting. We also have Thunderous Pause. Ghost Wolf removes snare and increases your movement speed by an additional 25%. That's like a conduit now, I think. That's really good. Sounds like really good for Resto Shaman, especially. When transformed into a Ghost Wolf, you gave 5% movement speed. Ooh, and damage reduction. I think that's a conduit. It makes it look like it's not for Resto, though. So we'll have to take a look at that. Frost Shock, another core spell. Maelstrom Weapon. What? Okay, let's take a look, actually. Before we get too deep into this, just want to make sure, because if I was going to play something, it'd be Resto. But as you see, Enhanced gets this stuff for free. Resto still has it, though. I mean, it seems to exist. So, Maelstrom Weapon. When you deal damage with a melee weapon, you have a chance to gain Maelstrom Weapon stacking to 5 times. Each stack reduces the cast time of your next damage or healing spell. Well, that's going to be pretty good. Wow, man. Resto Shaman looks like it honestly may be the best damage healer, like by a mile. From what I've seen so far, they're looking pretty nuts. We also have another row down here, Earth Shield, another baseline spell that I think only Resto has right now. So it looks like Ellie, I think they're talents, so you can take it as a talent. That's how it works, yeah. Fire and Ice. Okay, I'd rather Fire and Blood, but Fire and Frost damage are dealt by 3% more, so that's just a passive. Cap Totem, pretty normal. Cleanse Spirit. That's yeah, okay, that's not the magic dispel. I don't know where that comes in, but that's probably just in the actual healing tree. And Focused Insight. Casting Flame Shock reduces the mana cost of your next heal by 10% and increases its healing effectiveness by blah, blah, blah. So, okay, that could be useful for Resto, right? Definitely. Flame Shock is something you're going to use a lot if you don't suck at playing Resto. And it actually, yeah, that seems pretty interesting. Two points of that as well. There's Flurry. Now, this is honestly probably one of my favorite interactions in any type of like DPS kit. I just really love seeing your character just all of a sudden start attacking really fast. And that's one of the things I love the most about Enhancement Shaman, because they have that kind of built into their character. So that's really cool. And that is a 1/1. Your attack speed by 15%. Your next 3 melee swings after dealing a crit. I think that was like the max it ever was 15, but it makes it's cool. I like the way it looks. Hex, we have normal stuff there. Guardian's Cudgel. When Capacitator fades, it is destroyed and another Cap Totem is automatically dropped. Oh, that's pretty good. Reduce the cooldown of Cap Totem by 5 seconds for each enemy it stuns, up to a maximum reduction of 20 seconds. Okay, so those are both Cap Totem modifications, which is definitely really good to have as Resto. We also have Tremor Totem, which I'm shocked by being kind of down below Earth Elemental. Don't you think that's kind of weird? But anyway, that's another good utility piece that obviously You're probably going to see a lot of Resto Shamans having access to, no problem. Increases leech and avoidance, so that's just another passive. Spirit Walker's Grace, which is obviously a core part of their foundational kit to being able to move. Resto Shaman historically has been very bad with that, so it's good to see that still there. Increases the number of elemental shields you can have active on yourself by 1. Now that's quite cool because it allows you to put Earth Shield on yourself and an ally. So that's going to be really good, but I assume that's another global. I mean, I don't exactly know how Earth Shield works if you're not actually getting hit very often, but that sounds like that'd be powerful. Resto Shaman is also somewhat famous for not having great defense, so good to see maybe that gets sheared up a bit. But yeah, okay, so now we're on to Spirit Walker's Aegis or Graceful Spirit. These are just the talent. I think these are talents or something that already exist. Immune to silence and interrupts for 5 seconds, or reduce the cooldown of Spirit Walker's Grace by 60 and increase your movement speed. Okay, that's really, the first one's really like a PvP one. Earth Grab Totem or Windrush Totem. Wow, on the same point. Interesting. That's going to be a tough choice for a lot of people probably, but I think Earth Grab's pretty overrated in keys. You know, if you want a root, you're going to just take a Druid, I feel like most times, but it can be useful. Greater Purge. Oh, wow. Is there ever a time in 5-mans where you need to purge more than one thing? I think that does happen. Yeah, I think that does. Or just, wait, what? Or just regular purge. What? Oh, that one. Okay, greater. So you can either choose one of the two. Greater Purge has a 15-second cooldown, or you can have Purge with no cooldown. And it only gets one thing. Oh, and successfully purging a target grants a stack of Maelstrom weapon. That's a terrible choice. Why would you ever take the other one? Like, unless there's bosses or something that have specifically 2 things that need to be purged constantly. That's a very strange one. Anyway, when Hex ends, the target is slowed, or reduces the cooldown of your Hex spell. That's pretty garbage. Increases the critical strike chance of your nature spells. That should heal. That should count for healing too, right? That's quite good. Resto Shamans always like to crit. Increase the movement speed of Ghost Wolf by 5%. Winds of Alakir. What a great name. When you have 3 or more totems active, your movement speed is increased by 7%. I like totems. I like them. Ancient Ankh Talisman and Reincarnation is off cooldown. Your maximum health is increased by 10% while you are at full health. Reincarnation cools down 75% faster. So that's like a pretty powerful passive that I think they have in the past as well. Nature's Guardian, health is brought below, so that's a defensive option. Oh, there you go. Elemental Warding, 6% damage reduction, just passive. That's quite good. Reduce the cooldown of your totems by 2 seconds. But I just don't really know what totems they have, so it's kind of hard to say. That was the nice thing about those posts that Blizzard was making. You would know exactly what totems, what everything else would be baseline. They're not saying that right now, at least from what I could tell. I don't see any indication that that's the case. We have Healing Stream here for the first time. 1 charge. You need the talent that usually is existing for 2 charges, but still a great totem to have. 30-second recharge. Better than a lot of people think it is. Improved Lightning Bolt. Increase the damage by Lightning Bolt. That's nice. Totemic Projection. This really shouldn't be a talent, I feel like, but okay, that's a weird talent to have. Gust of Wind. Yeah, so people were talking about this coming back. This is a really, really, really important spell. It used to be like insanely good. In Legion, a lot of the mechanics would target the ground where the player was. And you would then be able to outplay that before it would get to you. Like if you were at max range and the guy was going to run over to you and hit you, you can actually Gust of Wind or blink away, like an ability like that, and blink away from the mechanic and it would not hit you. So there was a lot of mechanics in Legion Mythic Plus where that was possible. And I don't know if that still exists at all because I guess I should know because Knife, but probably not at that point. I imagine everybody would know about that. But in Legion, like it was difficult because you had to actually be able to not die to these mechanics, where now it's a lot more tuned a lot better. But anyway, that was a really, really powerful spell. You also have the option of Spirit Walk, which is, yeah, that's quite good. This is really good kit for Resto. I can already tell it's going to be very powerful for Enhanced, but very good for Resto. Reduce the cooldown of Spirit Walk by 7.5 seconds, or reduce the cooldown of Gust of Wind. That's interesting. So it depends on which talent you've taken. Surging Shields. Increases the damage dealt by Lightning Shield and causes it to generate... That's Elemental. Let's read Resto. Increase the damage dealt by Lightning Shield. Increases the healing done by Earth Shield. And increase the amount of mana recovered by Water Shield. Yeah, because like you're always going to have mana, the Mana Shield, the Water Shield up. And then you could also put Earth Shield on you now with the 2 thing. So that sounds pretty useful. I think that sounds really good, doesn't it? Totemic Focus increases the radius of your totem's effect by 7%. Increases duration of Earthbind and Earth Grab totem. Increases duration of your healing stream. Okay. I mean, I just don't really. There's a lot of totems there. Poison Cleansing, that was something we talked about in the last video. Where is that? Where's Poison Cleansing totem? Let's just not skip ahead. It's too enticing. Thunderstorm. Wow, that's a big one, guys. Thunderstorm for Resto calls down a bolt of lightning. Yo, that's really good. Knocking them back. It's a really big knockback on live. Why does it say knocking them thunder shock? What the hell does that mean? Is this spelled different? I wonder if this is different. I don't know. You guys tell me. Nature Swiftness back to Resto. I don't think they have that right now, right? Big thing for Druids for a long time. They have it again as Resto. It was like that in Classic. Swirling Currents. Healing Stream Totem increases the healing of your next 3 healing surges. Okay. Yeah, that's those types of interactions I don't love, to be honest. Mana Spring Totem. All 3 specs now. In fact, he told me about this on stream. And it is the exact same. Oh, but it also... Oh, this is not what I expect. This is Mana Spring, not Mana Tide. Okay, so I think he said Mana Tide on stream. Mana Spring summons a totem at your feet for 15 seconds that restores 0 mana to party members within 30 yards when you cast Lava Burst, or Riptide for Resto, or Storm Strike for Enhance. Wow. Okay, so it only lasts for 15 seconds, though, so you really got to get... But it's only a 45-second CD, so that's a really nice one. Ancestral Guidance, really, really powerful spell in the old days. Kind of lost its goals, but yeah, I think that's there available for all the specs now. Oh no, are you kidding me, bro? Oh, this is like one of my favorite spells ever, dude. Lightning Lasso. Grips the target in lightning, stunning and dealing nature damage over 5 seconds while the target is lassoed, and you could move while channeling. This is currently a PvP talent. And honestly, it's one of my favorite spells in the entire game. It just looks so freaking wicked. And the fact that you could move while the mob is just permanently stunned for the whole duration of it. Oh my god, I love this spell. And it is actually going to be there for Resto? No way, dude. This is so cool. But they also have Thundershock, which I guess is what I was confused about. Thunderstorm knocks enemies up instead of away. And its cooldown is reduced by 5 seconds. Huh. To be honest, that might be better for 5-mans. That's probably way better for 5-mans because you don't really want to knock mobs away a lot. Especially Thunderstorm, it does a lot of knockback. So it's only really good for like Sanguine. It's not great for interrupting. Lightning Lasso, we're so close, bro, but I think Thundershock, I have to take it for keys. Poison Cleansing Totem, here it is. This is a really big deal, guys. Do not discount how big of a deal this is. One of the problems with Resto Shaman in BFA was that almost every dangerous debuff was poison, and that's why Druid dominated over Resto Shaman. That's a big, big part of it. Do not discount the fact that they now have a poison dispel again. Summons a totem at a target location and removes 1 poison effect from the nearby enemies every 1.5 seconds. That is so freaking big because it's a way shorter cooldown. Well, first of all, it's a 45-second cooldown, so that's a little bit awkward to use, but it can dispel the entire party within 6 seconds. As long as, no, that's probably not 5 players. It can get a lot of players. Let's not do math on stream. Bad idea. Anyway, it can dispel more than 1 person within that 6-second period, whereas the regular dispel is only going to get 1 person every 8 seconds, or maybe 6 now, I don't know. But regardless, yeah, that's a big deal. Now, every 45 seconds, do you need that totem? Probably not. It's probably only going to be used a couple times throughout a dungeon. Yo, Shaman stays meta. Mark my words right now. Reduce the cooldown of the most recently used totem with a base cooldown shorter than 3 minutes. Call of the Elements. I think that's a talent now. I'm not liking what I'm seeing at the end here, though. Creation Core. Call of the Elements affects an additional totem or reduce the cooldown of Call of the Elements by 60 seconds. I do not like this being an actual cooldown. There's too many cooldowns in the game as it is for healers, and this one is not. I really don't like that. I really don't like that because it means like, oh great, I can get multiple healing tides or whatever. I guess it has to be shorter than 3 minutes. Wait, where's even? I don't know. There's no. What happened to the talent that gives you 2 charges of stuff? We don't have that anymore. I'm kind of. Some of these are confusing to me, but anyway, I'm not seeing what I wanted to see, and that would have been Wind Fury. I really wanted to see Wind Fury for all specs. I think they're making a big mistake not putting that in because it's kind of weird that you have such a powerful utility spell that's only for one spec out of the three. So hopefully that can be feedback and they can learn from that. But there's also Tranquil Air Totem, which is actually not something that's in the game currently. Maybe it's a PvP talent, but it prevents silences and stuff, which is kind of, I feel like this is useless outside of PvP. And then there's also Stone Skin Totem, which is just, it's like a tier 1 talent in live WoW. So that's I'll say the ending is very disappointing. I'm not exactly happy with that, but this middle part is so cool. I can't wait to see Mana Spring, Poison Cleansing, the double shield thing, and the shields in general. Dude, I'm hyped for Shaman, man. I might be playing a lot of Resto. Let's quickly take a look at Enhance's stuff. I don't want this video to be 30 minutes. It's probably going to be anyway. I just want to see what they have. If there's any indication that there's anything really cool. Obviously, yeah, there's Wind Fury there, pretty high up the tree. Wind Fury weapon is really low, so that's really good. Storm Strike. See, what I'm really hoping for, it's not possible though, I don't think. But it actually works out though. This is actually kind of cool. Because in live WoW, you cannot play a two-handed Enhancement Shaman because Storm Strike automatically removes Primal Strike. Now, does Primal Strike still exist? I have no idea. But if it does, and you don't actually have to take Storm Strike, well, you can't really take anything else. That's the problem. Yeah. I don't know how that's going to work out. But if you can just not take Storm Strike, I think that it would be interesting. I was really hoping to see some crazy flavor for Enhance. I have a lot of... oh, there's Doom Winds. Wow, that's cool. That's a really cool legendary right now. Probably one of my favorite legendaries that isn't for Blood DK. I really like Enhanced Shaman, man. Enhanced Shaman is very fun. I have a lot of nostalgia for it, and I really wish that I could enjoy it again, but I just don't really like DPS in general. So it looks like they have a lot of the passives and talents that they already have. Doesn't look like they got any... oh, that's a pretty good option there. Those are legendaries, aren't they? Primal Lava Actuators is definitely a legendary. Yeah, there's some cool legendaries for Enhance right now because they can actually take Ellie legendaries. That's the last time you'll ever do that, though, by the way. You ask for no more borrowed power. That means you'll never have like Balanced Druid legendary on as a Resto Druid. That'll never work again. Ice Strike, yeah, okay. So yeah, I don't really see anything that's standing out. Nothing that's... there's another legendary there. Witch Doctor Wolf Bones. These are all powerful. Storm Strike damage is increased by 8%, and Storm Strike now generates 1 stack of Maelstrom weapons. Alpha Wolves, Elemental Spirits. Crash Lightning causes your wolves to attack all nearby. Oh, that seems like that could be really good for 5-mans. That's pretty good AoE talent, it sounds like. While Ascendance is activated, Wind Strike automatically consumes up to 5 weapon stacks. Oh, wow. Huh. Splintered Elements, Lightning Bolt generated Primordial Wave increases your haste. Oh yeah, Primordial Wave is a thing now, right? I never really used that, but... Okay, so yeah, definitely a little disappointed on the Shaman stuff so far, but let's quickly take a look at Resto, because this is... If I was going to play a spec, it would be this one. Looks like very similar stuff to what we saw in Enhance, but... There's Healing Stream, so super low. I mean, I'm not going to look at all of this, so you guys tell me, but I feel like there's some things missing here. So let me know what you guys think about this. Healing Stream, Living Stream, Healing Stream Totem ticks for 10% more each time it ticks. There's Mana Tide. Resurgence, your direct... Okay, that's, yeah, really good for them. Healing Tide as well in the right in the dead center. Oh, there's Echo of Elements. So does that not exist for the other specs? I think it's probably just going to be in the same spot. Maybe it doesn't exist for Ellie. I don't know. I don't know much about the other specs, to be honest. Resto I played a lot of. I actually raided as a Resto Shaman in Throne of Thunder on EU when I was playing with my friends guild in EU. And I've always had a soft spot for it because I love the concept, and I especially love some of the animations. I just like water, I think is probably the way to put it. But yeah, Earth Living Weapon, this is another cool one. Imbues a Shaman weapon with Earthen Life, which gives your Riptide, Healing Wave, Healing Surge, and Chain Heal healing a 20% chance to trigger Earth Living on the target, healing an additional 4% over 12 seconds. That's pretty good, to be honest. So I'm really excited about what happens with Shaman here. I love the concept, and I will say maybe like 9 out of 10 instead of 10 out of 10. Maybe like 8.5 out of 10. I was coming into it thinking it was going to be 11 out of 10. It's got some cool stuff, though, man. I'm excited to see what this plays like, especially as a non-DPS. Like, there's some cool stuff, man. Like, Maelstrom Weapon and Flurry as Resto? I mean, come on. That sounds quite neat, doesn't it? So we'll take a look at it, but thank you for watching. Look forward to more alpha stuff coming soon, man. I'm finally in, so we got a lot to do. Just waiting on the servers to come up. So thank you for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.